The more I think about stuff in Japan, the less sense it starts to make. One of the craziest things that you will see in Japan is the fact that people don't seem to understand what prejudice and racist behavior is. Now, don't get me wrong, Japan is not even close to being close to how American racism is. It's very subliminal, it's very private, and it's not so much, oh, you're lesser than me, I'm better than you, you don't deserve what I do type stuff. While of course there are people here with that mindset, and that exists everywhere in the world, America's not perfect, neither is Japan. The problem with Japan is that unlike America, at least most people are aware of the racism that does exist there, or at least that did. Whereas in Japan, people don't believe it's ever been an issue here. They're in denial over it, and when you confront them about prejudice behavior, they have an excuse for everything. The biggest, most common excuse that you'll see is, oh, people aren't used to being around foreigners, they don't know English, things that go along those lines. But whenever you ask a Japanese person to break that down further and tell them that excuse is racist within itself, they seem a little bit lost and trip over their words all of a sudden. For example, the common excuse given for why Japanese people refuse to sit next to foreigners, specifically those with darker skin, is they claim that they're afraid of not knowing English. Well, there's a few things, as I've mentioned in my other video, that is specifically about what I call gaijin ghost seating. That's racist within itself. You're assuming that every person that does not look Asian or that has dark skin must be a native English speaker. Thus, that's the language that they speak in the first place. Secondly, since when do foreigners chat up random strangers on the train? That seldom happens. Normally it's someone that they know, and if anything they might be asking for directions, thus they'd be giving the name of something in Japanese, if even that. Why is that a fear? I've never even seen anyone talk to a stranger on the train in my life, and I've been here for years. How is that not racist? Then the other excuses being stuff which are more visible and I can't think of a word to say when you can smell it, physical I should say. For example, that you must stink, or that because you're bigger, you're going to make, it's going to be a tight fit, squeeze, whatever, you're fat, dirty, things like that. But it's like, okay, you have no problem sitting next to another Japanese person, which a lot of them have horrible breath because they're alcoholics, drink coffee nonstop, smoke, don't have proper dental care here, etc. But I don't avoid sitting next to you guys. You guys eat natto for breakfast, things like that. But this video is not supposed to be about, my feelings on trains, but more so about making it make sense. Now, they have all of these fears in which they're afraid of you. They believe you're dirty, you're nasty, you're slutty, you're immoral, you're easy, this, that, and the other. But then it's like, if you think all of these bad things about foreigners, why the fuck do you want us to teach your kids English? Think about that. If we're scary, we're ugly, we're funny looking, you don't want to sit next to us, you're afraid of us, why do you turn around and then want us to teach you English as soon as you get off of that train? You can't sit next to me on the train or on the bus. You would rather stand for 2 hours than be anywhere near me. But for some reason, you're willing to pay me $3,000+ a month to teach you and your stink booty, pick nose, lick their fingers, kids. You're okay with doing that though. I can be around your children, and you're willing to pay big money for that. But God forbid you catch me outside those four walls and you have to sit next to me, because that's just a very scary experience. I'm way too fat, way too stinky, way too scary for you to want to be next to. English is a huge business in Japan. There's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are studying it every day here, willingly on their own as adults, not just kids that are forced to study in school. These sites are full of people looking to learn English. There's eikaiwas everywhere. So all of these people want to learn, but at the same time, you're afraid of us? We're scary to you? What? That doesn't make any sense. So I literally cannot wrap my mind around it. And I literally was just thinking about this like a little while ago. It's like, okay, we're scary looking. We're all of these bad things. But at the same time, when it comes to learning English, when it comes to you wanting to have sex, get laid, then all of a sudden you love foreigners. Foreign girls have better bodies. Foreign men are more attractive. They're more handsome. They're taller, etc. But for some reason on the train, they're dirty. They're scary. They're bad. They're all of these other things. So I'm not bothered by this so much anymore. I've been here for years. But at the same time, I do find it comical because it's like you're You're afraid of us in one sense, but then you put yourself inside of another situation, and all of a sudden, please teach me English for free, please have sex with me, please suck my dick, please ride me, you know, all of these other like crazy things and requests that you guys don't realize how ridiculous it sounds. You want to have sex with me, you want me to teach you English, but you don't want to sit next to me. You're afraid to be anywhere near me. If I speak English around you, you get angry on the train, or if I speak English in a restaurant, it frustrates you, it makes you angry then. And also somebody's going, oh, you shouldn't be talking on the train. I don't. I'm normally a very quiet person, and when I do have to talk, I whisper. I'm not someone that's loud, yelling, etc. I'm just giving an example. And mind you, Japanese people do this stuff all the time too, but of course it's a double standard. When they do it, it's okay, but if we do it, then it's bad manners, rude, etc. Which I do agree with that to a certain extent, but that's a whole nother topic. My point is, make it make sense. It doesn't make any, as far as I'm concerned. It's okay for me to teach you English. It's okay for me to fuck you, but it's not okay for me to sit next to you in public. It's not okay for me to speak English outside of our lesson. In those situations, then it's learn Japanese. Go back to your home country. Foreigners stink. Foreigners are fat. Foreigners are funny looking. Foreigners are scary. And then even as far as kids go too, like, people find it comical, whatever, like when people make fun of, I guess, black people, whatever. I personally have not been victim of this so much. I'm pretty sure if I were to go back in time, I've probably been called scary a few times by a kid. But to be totally honest, I have no remembrance or whatever of this type of stuff that I can recall. Normally, if a kid sees me, they'll just say, oh, Caucasian or something like that. But, or, you know, foreigner or whatever, and that's it. I don't normally have kids running away scared, screaming, crying, whatever, but I know that does happen. So my point is, I find that funny too, because like the joke's really on you. Whenever I see or hear about kids that are afraid of a black person or afraid of a white foreigner, any foreigner for that matter, to me it just says that you're poor and so is your kid. Because apparently you couldn't afford to go to international school. Apparently you haven't been exposed to English. You haven't been exposed to foreign movies, etc. And just as we're scary, weird looking, funny looking to you, so are you. You think your big head, flat face, small slanted eyes aren't scary to us? Just as much as my big nose, big mouth, you know, tall, big body is to you. So it goes both ways. It's all a matter of exposure. And I hate those little crappy excuses because, as I've said before in other videos, I did not grow up surrounded by Asians. That was kind of weird for me when I first came here. I'd never seen so many in my life. I can actually tell them apart now. Now I know what accent people are speaking in. I know dialects now. I can tell the difference between Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. At first I couldn't. It all just sounded like Chinese to me. They all just looked Chinese to me. I couldn't tell. Did I go around laughing and making fun of Asians though? No. So how is that okay for them to do, you know, for white and black people? And unlike, you know, us, who really have no exposure, not even in media, all of their media, all of their models, all of their music is full of black and white people. And Asians love hip-hop. They love R&B, arguably more so than pop music. So they see us rappers and actors all the time. They love DC and Marvel movies. They love Disney movies. They love rap music. They love R&B music. So to use the little crap excuse, oh, they haven't seen black people, oh, they're used to this, they're models even. They're superstars in sports, the Olympics, etc. All black people, have black people, black skin people. What's the excuse then? For us, we really don't have any exposure to Asians. And then the ones that we do, they're normally Chinese, not even Japanese at that. But for the most part, we're not that ignorant though. Sure, people have made fun of Asians, might make fun of your eyes, make fun of their accents or whatever, things like that. Make fun of their jobs, but it's not on such a wide scale where it's become the standard and the norm, and we're like, oh, it's because it's a homogenous society, oh, we just haven't been exposed to them. People that do this stuff know better. They know what they're doing, and so do Japanese people. So that said, again, I don't care. I'm here to stay. I've been here for years and I plan to be here for the rest of my life, but at the same time I just find it really weird and it doesn't make any sense. You're afraid of us, but at the same time, you want us both sexually, and you want us to be your friends so you look cool around other Japanese people. You want to have as many foreign friends as possible. You want to keep up your English. You want us to teach you English. You're willing to pay us to teach your kids English. But at the same time, we're viewed as dangerous, slutty, scary, all of these bad things. Okay, so that's that. And I'm sorry I got carried away with my little rant right here. But that's the end of this video, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, give me your 2 cents. What's your opinion? If you're Japanese, please explain this to me, because I don't really understand. And if you're a foreigner, what's your experience with this? Have you found that to be true for you as well? It kind of doesn't make sense, does it? They're afraid of you in one circumstance, and they think these negative things about you if they're not necessarily scared of you. But at the same time, then you're preferred, especially if you're American, when it comes to learning English. They want to experience having sex with you. You're beautiful. You look like Rihanna. Blah, blah, blah. Things like that. So, anyway, I really appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook page, and Snapchat as well. If you would like and follow those pages too, I would greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll watch another video.